it is incredibly difficult for me to quantify what Lemurian energy has done for me in my practice and in my clients' lives. But if I had to start distilling it down into words, I would say Lemurian energy has helped me open my heart fully and completely to understanding our multi-dimensional reality. It just feels like home. It's given me authenticity and personal power in my healing practice. It's really helped me cultivate my gifts, my talents, my channeling abilities. I really don't have many words beyond that. But I find when I connect to these energies, I always get a quantum leap in frequency. My life shifts undeniably. And when I share this energy with my clients, they see those same rapid results. And if you've been following me for a little while, you might know that I feel this big wave of Lemurian energy coming in around springtime. This year's no different. And I usually have a pretty big offering around that time as well. And I'll get into that in a moment. But I want to give you like a behind the scenes before we get into the light language, a behind the scenes on how I create this offering and the information that came through when I was channeling this offering. And just so you know, there's like a fly buzzing around in here, so I'm sorry if you hear him, but he's here. So I like to bring on a new Lemurian crystal every now and then. So this year I brought in this beauty. Look at that. And as I was sitting with this crystal, meditating with this crystal, tuning into Lemurian frequencies with this beauty, I got this download, this vision of Lemuria towards the end, towards the fall. And if you don't quite know the timeline, Lemuria was present on Earth before Atlantis and ran alongside Atlantis, but fell away before Atlantis, I should say, fell away before Atlantis. Atlantis kept going for a little while before they had their cataclysm. And Lemuria held this divine feminine frequency, and Atlantis had more of a masculine frequency. Anyways, so I was just tuning into that fall, those moments before Lemuria disappeared. And they didn't show me the cataclysm or the scary or the frightful. They showed me this intentional departure where I was simply laying back and holding my Lemurian crystals. And in that moment, I chose the way I wanted to leave. And the way I wanted to leave in that moment was so beautiful. I dissolved into the earth to become part of the Lemurian divine feminine gridwork. I became the Lemurian divine feminine gridwork. And a lot of Lemurian beings did this, not just me. Some chose to, go to the sea, become dolphins, become whales, become sea creatures. Some chose to go to Atlantis. Some chose to go back to Venus, go back to Sirius, go back to their home planet. So there were many choices that were made. Some chose to go into crystals. But I just thought that was such a beautiful vision of making a conscious choice of how we wanted to depart Lemuria. And some became star energy. So those who became star energy, those who became gridwork, those who became crystal energy, they were so deeply in love with humanity, that they wanted to be the navigation point back to Lemurian energies, far, far into the future, laying dormant, waiting for the energy to be picked up again. And that's what is happening. And I want to note here that there, of course, is no separation in time. Lemuria is existing simultaneously as this timeline exists, right? The quantum field craziness. But I want to say there's no separation. You are the individual who put in the information into that Lemurian crystal that you're holding, or an aspect of your soul, I should say. An aspect of you worked with those crystals. An aspect of you became the gridwork. An aspect of you became star energy. An aspect of you is still present today, not only through your multidimensionality and through your physical vessel, but in these very tangible navigation points back to Lemuria. And that should be really empowering. So this year, for my offering, it is this beautiful divine feminine energy of Lemuria, which again, Lemuria was. And masculines, don't feel left out because you have an important role to play in this as well. But in my upcoming workshop at the end of April, which I lovingly called the path of the Lemurian Sisterhood, activating the ancient gridwork. We are going to heal some divine feminine aspects that have been suppressed or who have been wounded for a very long time now. And as we do that, we're honoring not only ourselves, healing ourselves, but honoring those Lemurian frequencies. And through that work, we release the suppression on the divine feminine Lemurian gridwork that is ready to be activated in its fullest capacity around the planet now. And for those who resonate as masculine, you support us in this work by holding energetic containers for us to practice this, by just sending loving support, by your strength, and so much more. So just because you're not in this offer, not just because you're not maybe showing up to this particular Lemurian offering, know that your strength is helping us do this work. Okay. With all that being said, if you want to join that, by the way, I have that link in the description. But with all that being said, we're going to dive into the light language. And this light language should help you connect back to Lemurian frequencies and to provide some healing. So I want you to just come in with a full open heart and just notice what you notice when you connect into this light language. Maybe it's a vision. Maybe you hear a word. Maybe you see a color. Maybe it's just something you feel. Trust what you are receiving. And maybe you listen to it a few times, and that could be helpful. If you have Lemurian crystals, I'd encourage you to grab one, or any crystal that you feel is calling your name. If you do have Lemurian crystals, I find it helpful to put my thumb over the striations. Where are the striations here? They're all around. The thumb over the striations, or the striations over the heart or third eye. Really whatever you'd like, but hold on to that. I've also connected this light language, this energy work, to a healing crystal body layout where I've laid Lemurian crystals over the crown, the heart, the hands, and over the third eye, I have a Lemurian calcite. This one in particular. P.S. When I set up that crystal body layout, my cat was laying over it the whole time. So he was providing some protection and healing as well. Kitty is very powerful. So if you want to be connected to that energy, just simply say that you accept, and so it shall be. And of course, I'd love to hear what you experienced during the light language in the comments below, or any remembrances of Lemuria that you have and are willing to share. I love to read them and to feel into those synchronicities. Now, you'll notice there's a bit of an outfit change. There's a little bit change in the scenery. The table's gone because I recorded this light language much earlier in the morning. It was I don't think you can really hear it during the transmission, but there was this lovely rainstorm. There was thunder. It was just the right energy for it. So that's why that is happening. So here we go with the light language. I hope you enjoy.
Ashana ne olu e anana da da kwa yanana kai kori anana da da kware me ne mene me wanama ai no kwai o me no me e wa me nana no nana kana e na wama nana ana wama ne mo kai korundeke kake on the manke moe menene kwa nana akio kwa nene kwa kawamana tore nene kwaran werele na kai kwa namapake kwari ananana kwela lele na tai kwa nai kure menete kai kwa na ka iale kwa ina kiana note na wo opa na wa pena kwa na kwa hananete oh wana ai kwana kenene na kena wana me eke ia naka ete wana yana mabape wana ni anati ane ade ke hulene di kwale le anane akiai lonene akiai na kwane yana ne ake kure la ne dia kuna dia kanya lotu kana yawana makai kuna mate akwai to yang baingai lona na yana kwani kena uhanane inna de takai kwanata kena yana ke kwala le na no kwa yana kia wa kwanebe kena tu kana tuka tanate teka korata kare na kore kierata korata kwa yana kwa so kwan no kwan ya kia na koshe sene kia nata nore kaya no kwa kiana ka kwana keka kwana na kwana yana kwane leya na yana ka lena yana kwene la note dario no kwa kashnate se kwana nata kwa Tashino kona de toka ino momo Seneane innate kiasana ode shunukuda sanata kinana kwanana 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 de kwanana de